And we're live. Okay, awesome. Welcome, everybody. Welcome to live sneak peek coaching on data-driven real estate agents models for success, DREAMS for short. You are on this Facebook page because you decided you wanted to level up your real estate sales business and you wanted to do it in a smart way. Okay, so everything we do is based on data. So Todd, you're currently in deal a day pipeline through the real estate prescription. Why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself? And I'm going to ask you a little bit about what your experience is lately with your data.
Great. So hello, everyone. My name is Todd Derksen. I currently reside just outside of Wilmington, North Carolina, so along the southeastern shore of North Carolina. I'm excited to be here and answer any questions anyone has.
Awesome. So you're in our program now. We're teaching you how to get one deal in your pipeline for every 5 conversations that you have. Now you're doing a little bit of a different play than a lot of other people in our program, which is your conversations to deals is a little bit different, but that's because you're building a huge asset, and we'll talk about how you're doing that. But you're tracking daily. So can you talk to people a little bit about the value of understanding how to track at a high level?
Yeah, well, it's always about having skin in the game. So one of the first things I think that the program did, or you have to do it in the program, but it was absolutely a byproduct. When I signed up for a coaching class, I sat down and actually wrote all of my information in one spot, opposed to I got some of it in the CRM, some of it's on a whiteboard. I got this pad of paper, people I need to call. It's all organized in one place right now, so I can actually look at it with the snapshot, opposed to just trying to wonder what's going on.
Yeah, so it gives you the ability to know exactly where you are and what it's going to take for you to get where you're going. So today we are going to discuss some questions live, and actually I've got to pull up these questions. So give me a second here, because Todd and I were talking about them earlier this morning. So we're going to answer questions live, and I know that we're going to touch on lead generation, lead follow-up, high conversion levels, better return on investment, getting off paid leads, okay? And we're going to talk about efficiency and how to stop wasting time and resources. And tracking plays a part in all of this. So we'll break those down today. And our first question, Todd, comes from Lesley Jones of Lake City, Florida. I said, if you could change one thing about your real estate business, what would it be? And Lesley says to get steady business without buying leads. So without further ado, Todd, what advice do you have for Lesley Jones?
Yeah, no, I absolutely agree. I mean, paying for leads is a long-term game. It's nurturing. So, and unfortunately, a lot of people are going after that business with you. So if you can get in front of the ball and have relationships with people. I had a coaching client or a coach that gave a great line, and it was, my success in real estate is directly linked to the people that think of me when they have to buy, sell, or invest in real estate. And as a transplant, I'm starting from scratch.
So what I love about what you said, okay, well, let's talk about this first off. Okay, you say transplant. Okay, so you're in the North Carolina area right now. Where were you before that?
Massachusetts for over 25 years.
Okay, so any of y'all that are licensed in Massachusetts, you're going to want to friend Todd because he has a ton of people there he's not going to service directly. So go make friends with him, okay? Todd will lead generate in Massachusetts and throw you deals. Okay, so one of the things I loved about what you said is getting in front of the ball, right? When we have online leads, what happens is they're in an emotional moment. They're ready to just pick anybody out of a hat because they have a need and it's urgent, right? So if you wait until that emotional moment, you're competing against the internet. Mm-hmm. You're competing against National Association of Realtors even, because they own Realtor.com and they sell leads, right? Homes.com just eclipsed all the other sites. These are billion-dollar corporations, guys. Why are you going to fight against billion-dollar corporations? Not a good idea. So how do we get in front of the ball? One of the things that you said was, thinking about, oh, hi, Nancy Powerbank. Hey, girl. One of the things that you were talking about was, having them think of you when it comes to time to buy, sell, or invest in real estate. But I think what we're learning in this program, even you and I together, is that it happens way before that. So how do
Mhm.
you serve people in a way to where when it comes time to buy, sell, and invest, they don't go onto those websites?
Yeah. So one of the one of the great things about this program is the vendor partnership and taking advantage of it. And one of the tactics is to follow up with references. I can tell you, I've had the warmest conversations with call and references than I have had of any lead source. I have people that literally are registering and saying, please give me a call, and you call them and they dodge you. If I'm calling about a reference, I could be on the phone with them for 15, 20 minutes talking about, their family, their occupation, their recreational desires, and their dreams.
So let's break this down for folks, okay? So what Todd's talking about is he's building a vendor partner network. So Todd, when you build a vendor partner network, it allows you to service people, right? And it allows you to service people not just as buyers, sellers, and investors, but actually as homeowners, right? Which is where they spend 98% of their experience. So we're getting more relevant to them in the 98%, which is exactly how you get in front of the emotional moment. That is how you do it. You serve people where they are. You don't wait until they're already ready. Okay. So with that said, Todd has had amazing success. So let's break this down with people really quick. You're building your vendor partner network. Okay. Just give people a quick glimpse of what that looks like process wise. Now we have the systems to do it. So we make it easy for you to do this. You're not going to have the same result without good systems. But let's give people a sneak peek. What does that look like for you? And what do you mean by references?
Yeah. So what you're doing is you're building your local businesses as well as building your own. You're reaching out to pick a category. I need a handyman. So it starts with the social media post to say, hey, who do you know? Or I could even hijack someone else's, and I could read something on next door, and someone goes, anyone know a handyman? And then all your neighbors are going to provide you all the great handymen because you'll see them repetitively there. Then you want to reach out to them and say, I have an opportunity. It's totally free to you that you could be partners with me in this program. And we have a whole system to simplify it. But then one of the things that I do is I'm calling references. And when I call the references, I said, hey, this is what I do. I vet out anyone. So if you ever need anyone in the future, if they haven't worked for me, at least I know I've talked to people they've done work for. And wouldn't that be of value to you? And they're like, absolutely. I go, well, please save my number. We'll be in touch in the future.
So you're going out there and you're prospecting for vendor partners. You're building a top-notch vendor partner list. You have a whole system that is super smooth and professional for these vendors to apply to be on your list. They list their 3 references. And the surprising thing to you has been how warm these reference calls are. So can we just give like the top 3 great reasons why you love these reference calls?
Yeah. So one, they call you back. No lead has ever called me back. I have to catch them. No one goes, oh, I'm so sorry I missed your call. It's a warm call. It's not about real estate, right? So that's the best thing. I'm not salesy in the beginning. I don't think I'm ever salesy. I'm calling about them and learning about them. And because it's a warm call, they really let you explore that whole conversation and give you all these nuggets, or as we call them, triggers, for what's going to happen in the future, so that I know when to engage with them, probably at a higher level, because something might be happening in their life.
Awesome. So it's a warm call. They answer the call. If they don't, you text them, they call you right back because they love the vendor that they're a reference for and they want to support them. You're not talking about real estate at all. And it allows you to open the door into actual personal conversation and go deeper with these people because they're not afraid that you're going to sell them.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So if this is interesting to you guys, okay. So Lesley Jones asked, how do I get off paid leads? This is how Todd is doing it. This is one of several strategies that we teach at Deal a Day Pipeline, and Todd is killing it. And we're going to get into some of the data here in a second. Todd is killing it with one Facebook post. Okay. And so what I want everyone to understand is you have to serve homeowners, not just buyers, sellers, investors. Serve homeowners, serve tenants, be in that 98% of their experience so that when it comes to the 2% when they need you, they don't go looking online. Okay, get in front of the emotional moment, make sure you cement that relationship. So with that said, Lesley, this is how Todd has gotten off of the hamster wheel. And let's talk about that. Todd, you made one post. What are the results you have gotten from that one post? And have you closed the loop on that one post? What's going on with it now?
Yeah, so unfortunately, no. And I haven't closed the loop on it because it's self-perpetuating. Currently, or I'd say after the initial post, I had 40 applications sent out for vendor partnership referrals. Since then, I have another incremental 20, and I know there's more coming. So if you do the math on this, 60 vendor applications, 3 references, so 4 times 60, that's 240 calls. And everyone I talk to goes, oh, my neighbor who owns a gutter business would love to be part of your program. And then it goes right down. My son has a car detailing business. Do you think you would have a space for him in your program? People are literally begging me to be in touch with them about the information I can service them with.
So I'm beaming from ear to ear because I cannot wait to see the massive effect this has on your GCI, your lower cost of sale, your lower operating expenses, your increase in profit. And actually, so we had a question about ROI. So let's talk about ROI really quick. And by the way, hello, Derek Darling. Hello, Joe Deli Carpini. Love you, Joe. All right, so we've got ROI was Kara S. Lawrence, Realtor at Century 21 Connect Realty. She wants to talk about return on investment. So what advice would you give for someone who's on, let's say, high paying leads or a high split to a broker or a team? How do you think most agents could quickly increase return on investment?
Yeah, so anytime you are in front of the person, well, that's what a paid lead is, right? So there is such anxiety for new agents to figure out the conversation. Who am I going to call and what am I going to say to them? Well, I avoid all of that, and it's a warm call. And I now have a connection as a neighbor in the community, right? I'm not the real estate guy. I'm the neighbor who brings people together, and I'm helping support local businesses. That is as good as it gets. And the investment on this, I'm not paying for that conversation. It's a systems in place. There's an upfront cost of being part of the program, but after that, it's all gravy. It just takes a single transaction to pay for itself.
So here's the tricky question, and I want your honest feedback, okay? We've
Yeah.
got this deal a day pipeline program. I coach people full time on how to have one deal in their pipeline for every 5 conversations that they have. Todd is one of my students. Todd, do you believe that coaching has a place in the conversation of return on investment, and why?
Yeah, no, so I scribbled a couple little notes because I figured I'd be asked this question, but I think without coaching, these are the things you lack. You lack accountability. You lack systems in place. Just knowing, and then the support network of other students too. That's the other thing that shouldn't be undermined at all. This all happens within the coaching program. Otherwise, you're just out there by yourself trying to figure it out. So these are proven methods that have statistics behind them. And that's what I was looking for, because I pay for paid leads now. I can't wait to stop paying for paid leads. I'm still fairly new in the program, but I don't see me doing that next year.
So do you anticipate getting a return on your investment for coaching?
100%.
Do you believe all the claims we make about building a $500,000 pipeline in 66 days is actually true?
I skeptically not in the beginning. I do now.
Yeah, you've seen it. I mean, Lisa Whitaker did it in 2 months.
Right.
Patty Carlson did 1.2 million in 6 months. Anna Lester did 400,000 plus in 7 days. So here's what I want to tell you guys. The saddest thing for me is when people cannot afford coaching, when they need it and they cannot afford it because there are no funds left or because your spouse doesn't approve. So here's what I'm going to tell you all. If that is you, hi, Mark. If that is you, okay, I want you to visit the comment section below. Okay, we have an event, and actually you can find the link all over this Facebook group. We do have an event coming up on Monday and Tuesday from 11 to 1 Eastern. Okay, it's 2 hours Monday, 2 hours Tuesday. It's called Streamlined Success, a 2-day real estate mastery intensive. We're going to give you the playbook. We're going to show you what we show our students so that it can kickstart you and move you in the right direction so that you can raise the funds to invest in coaching. Because I promise you, okay, I promise you, you will get greater return on investment from the dollars you spend on coaching than the dollars you spend on your brokerage. I promise you. And that's not to say you don't need your broker, because we have a fabulous broker on this call right now. Nancy Bowerbank's an amazing broker in Ann Arbor. And that's not to say you don't need your brokerage, but you can't expect your brokerage to carry the football across the line every time. Okay, they're there to protect you, keep you ethical, keep your license there, but they're not necessarily there to teach you how to run your business, streamline it, add the systems, hire people, use technology, and get a good conversion rate. So that's where coaching comes in. Now, so this class right now is like $99, and it's $49 for the upgrade. Okay, and next we're going to talk about conversion, so stay tuned. Todd, what do you think about that price for the 4-day clinic? Or 4-hour clinic?
Yeah, no, I think it's absolutely a steal to get exposure to the tools and really understand before you make the investment, right? So there's a big leap of faith when you see an ad and you're like, oh, I'm going to jump on this coaching class, but here you'll actually physically see the tools. So I think it's the easy button.
And the thing is that the second saddest thing that I as a coach is my pet peeve is when people think they can attend the class like this or watch these videos with you, and they think, oh, I can do this. I can do this on my own, right? So Todd, I'm going to ask you, if someone had given you this roadmap, okay, you probably would have had success. Why do you think people, let's say we get them 1, 2, 3 transactions in their pipeline because of what we teach them in this class, why do you think they should still invest in coaching?
Accountability, right? Like you're not going to be as disciplined, for myself anyway. I certainly can speak to that. I know I'm not as disciplined. I know that once a week I'm sending in a sheet telling you what I did, right? It's plus you have access to my data. So, I need to get that information. If I don't track, it's painful to do that process. And being organized obviously is going to help your business, right?
Yeah. And I think that the sad thing for me is most people, when they first start it, they're kind of like getting their sea legs. It's like trying to learn to ride a bike the first time and you fall over. Most people at that point will give up, which is just heartbreaking to me. Okay. You need support, you need practice, you need to improve, okay? And so let's talk about conversion, because we actually have someone who we're answering a question for today is on this call right now. Cynde Grimes Caldwell, Realtor at Real Estate Consultant and RK Morris Realtors. She wants to talk about, we're going to talk about wasting time and resources, and then we'll talk about conversion. So that was Cynde's question. When it comes to what you observe now in retrospect about your past business, okay, or what you see other people doing, how do you see realtors wasting time and resources, and what should they be doing instead?
Yeah, so I'm going to go back to the success I've had in this program is the ability to have this influx of warm calls. So one of the things I'll share a little information. Here's one of our secrets. So one of our tabs is make a list of the people you can call when you don't know who to call. Well, that was painful putting that list together, but I'll tell you something. I don't ever need to go to that. I have so many people that I can call that I'm not just calling just for the sake of calling them. I have people that need my help today, and I have the ability to speak with them. And so it keeps me focused. I feel good about the conversation afterwards. People aren't ghosting me. They're just really great calls.
Well, we even had to make time on your schedule because this became so overwhelming. The influx of people who wanted on your list, the references to call, the way that it was growing. We just recently made a change to your schedule this week and said, we cannot do this Monday through Friday because it is a little bit of a longer play. These people are not immediately saying, oh, I need to buy and sell. And they're a stranger, right? We're warming them up. So what are we doing now on Tuesday and Thursdays in order to really level up your conversion rate and get more deals in your pipeline?
Yeah, so it's taking advantage of the other tactics, right? So that's where, you know, my existence sphere of influence that I have not been able to call. They're non-references today. You know, the last couple of weeks I've been inundated. Like I literally can't dial enough numbers to get through the list. So we're breaking it up a little bit and making sure I can be engaged with that group as well.
Yeah. And so, for example, in our program, and then we're going to teach you this on Monday and Tuesday, number one is vendor partner network. Absolutely best return on investment you could do for your time. Going to save you time, save you money, save you energy, and build your confidence because these people want to talk to you, right? Number two is past clients. So if you do have past clients, you should call them. Okay. Todd, what would you say if you called a past client?
How are you and how is the house?
How are you? How's the house? And then how does that tie into your growing vendor partner network?
Well, well, what are you doing with the house? Oh, we're thinking about painting it. Well, just so you know, I can give you three vetted references or three people that I've vetted to provide you quotes. Would that be of value to you?
Mm-hmm. So the biggest time suck on your resources, your energy, your mental state, your time, Cynde, is going to be your lead generation. How efficient and effective are you, right? Are you getting a deal in your pipeline for every five conversations that you're having? So Todd has run this play, vendor partner network, calling references, calling past clients, and we're good to go. Last question for you, Todd. Let's talk about conversion, okay? So in terms of pipeline conversion and lead follow-up, how are you using your tracker and what are those conversations sounding like so that you get better results?
Yeah, so we're looking for where the future opportunity is. So we're leveraging two techniques that we go into detail about, which is forward and the geographic questions. Let me see. I'm trying to phrase this so it's a little more. I'm struggling a little bit to gather my thoughts on this.
Well, let's talk about the time sensitive forward info, right? You talk to people, you go into forward, you find out things. What are you taking note of so that the next time you follow up, it doesn't have to be about real estate?
Yeah, so it's their triggers. They're why would they want to move? What's coming up in their life? So by going through the questions, you're finding out so and so is getting married. Maybe a parent has lost a spouse and they're coming into the house and they'll need a bigger house. They're relocating for their job. All the things are tied to real estate, to be honest with you, right? I always say it doesn't matter what the rate is or inventory. Life happens to people and they're going to need to be somewhere. And if you look for those triggers, you're there when the conversation comes up, opposed to the event happens, and then you hope they seek you out.
So really last question. Okay. What do you feel has been the biggest, most impactful thing you've learned in the last 30 days?
Well, so stop trying to fight for business when it appears and get in front of it.
And how do you get in front of it?
By building relationships with people, becoming a connection, having a connection with them, being their neighbor before you're their realtor. Realtor is really the last thing they need right now, right? They just need someone. They need to know who to call and who to trust. So it's building the relationship, and then by asking the right questions, you'll know when they need you, and you're right there.
All right, everyone, this is Todd Derksen. He is in Wilmington, North Carolina. He services the entire, is it the south coast of North Carolina?
Yeah. So from Calabash to Jacksonville.
Okay, perfect. So if you have any deals either in Massachusetts where he used to live and work or in North Carolina, or make sure that you get in touch with Todd Derksen. Todd, how do you want people to get a hold of you?
So I'm sure you can post my contact information, email or phone is totally fine.
Okay, I'll post it in the comments. You guys, thank you for attending today. I hope that you guys learned what you came here for. Please remember, talk to people. Don't make it about real estate. Listen for the triggers for a move and track every day. If that is interesting to you and you want more time, money, and joy, please look in the comment section below. We did post the link to the landing page for the upcoming 2-day clinic. We hope it gives you a boost, and we hope to be able to talk to you about why coaching is absolutely critical to your journey. Okay, thanks, Todd. All right, bye, everybody.
Bye, everybody.